In this video, we discuss the age-old question, can talent be taught? Right after this.
Actors, take 5.
Hi, the Inspired Actor here. One question that keeps coming up is if talent is something that can be taught, or do you have to be born with it? When someone says that actor is very talented, what does that even mean? What do they have that others don't? What the heck is talent anyway? Let's start at the beginning. Talent. A special, often athletic, creative, or artistic aptitude. The generally accepted definition of talent is a kind of natural ability. Even when you look it up, chances are that the definition you will read will be basically synonymous with ability or aptitude in some way. But any seasoned actor, any master artist will tell you that the word talent is woefully insufficient when trying to describe what makes an artist more compelling than another. Talent is really a combination of many things, and these things are essential to its composition. Without even one of these critical components, you will struggle to stand out in your field, get parts, or be considered a master of your craft. That is not to say you won't find fame or financial success. You only need to turn on your TV to see many actors and performers who lack talent, but have a winning combination of one or more of its components to create a successful career in the business. Talent does not equal success by any stretch of the imagination. And certainly there are many performers who are very talented at self-promotion, marketing, interpersonal skills, and so on, who are accomplished and beloved celebrities. When we are speaking of talent, though, we are talking about talent in the craft of acting, not talent in any other way like singing or painting or business or sports. Talent in acting requires a special look because it is so often confused with something else, sometimes even by the performers themselves. So let's look at the first component of talent in acting, and that is presence. Presence, a noteworthy quality of poise and effectiveness. Often, when people say this or that person is talented, what they mean is that person has a lot of presence. In theater, we say that a person has a lot of stage presence when that actor has a quality that attracts attention on the stage. This component of talent is hard to quantify, as it is a very intangible quality. Have you ever known someone who enters a room and immediately has everyone's attention? Have you ever seen someone in a play or film do practically nothing and still attract and hold your attention? That's presence. It's that intangible X factor that unconsciously attracts you to a person but has nothing to do with physical beauty. They could be conventionally handsome or beautiful or not. It doesn't matter what they look like. You find yourself drawn to them. Other words for presence are magnetism, allure, charisma, and star power. Most of the time when someone says that an actor has a lot of raw talent, they really mean that they have presence, but not much else. There's something about them that's super interesting, but they lack the other components of talent to really be considered talented. The thing about presence is that you are born with it, but it can go away over time. If you've ever shared the stage or screen with a dog or a child, you know what I'm talking about. You can be acting your heart out, but a child simply needs to be to draw the eye. Children and animals have presence in spades. What is it about them that pulls so much focus? Well, I think the answer has a lot to do with ease. People with a strong feeling of ease tend to attract attention more than others. Children and animals simply are, and therefore we are attracted to their authenticity. We want to see what they're going to do next because truth is unexpected and interesting. So working on cultivating a strong feeling of ease can help an actor create a stronger presence in their work. Ability. Power or capacity to do or act physically, mentally, legally, morally, financially, etc. The next component of talent is ability. That is, the actor's physical or psychological capacity to perform effectively. An actor can have a lot of presence, but simply not have the instrument, the voice, body, or psychology to effectively do the work. For example, I have encountered many beginning stage actors who lack the ability to be heard by the audience. They just aren't loud enough. On the other hand, I have encountered many beginning film actors who lack the ability to bring their performance down to an on-camera level. They keep performing to the rafters when the camera requires intimacy. In sports, they refer to someone who has natural ability as someone who is particularly fit for a certain sport or position in that sport. Someone could be naturally fast or strong, for example, and be an excellent fit for the 100-yard dash or the shot put. Ability refers to the physical body of the performer. When you are asked what type type you are, leading man or lady, ingenue, character actor. They are asking about your ability to convincingly play a certain category of character. When someone asks about your vocal range, they are asking about your ability to sing the high notes or the low notes. If the role requires swordplay, do you have that ability? If the role requires you to do somersaults, can you? But ability doesn't just refer to someone's body. It can also be about someone's psychological capacity to act as well. Acting requires a strong use of the imagination. As I've said many times before, actors work in the medium of imagination. And if that actor is unable to effectively imagine the given circumstances of the story and the character they are playing, then it's just not going to work out for them. But to be clear, ability is not about how good or bad an actor is at a certain thing. In most cases, ability can be taught and honed and improved upon. Most people can learn to ride a horse, speak loudly, and sing. And certainly most people can be taught to effectively act using their imaginations. You can't be taught to be an ingenue if that time has passed, however. Not unless the production company is willing to spend a whole lot of money on CGI, or you are doing voiceover work for a cartoon or video game. Your job as an actor is to know what abilities you have, you don't have, what you can learn, and what you can't. And by the way, it's no shame if you can't do this or that thing. The shame is trying to be something you're not, or do something you can't. Skill, a learned power of doing something competently, a developed aptitude or ability. Once you know what abilities you have or don't have, then you can build upon those abilities by developing your skill. When we're talking about skill, we're talking about each individual component of the actor's work. For example, you can learn to speak louder on stage, but skill is projecting your voice while still maintaining the illusion of intimacy that your scene requires. You may be able to do some stage combat, but how well can you fence? This might take years of building the skills necessary to execute it convincingly. Skill can also be more intangible, like being able to really imagine and play the given circumstances of a role. Many people who want to break into Hollywood don't know or refuse to accept that acting really does require skill. Your job is to identify and build the skills necessary so that you can actually fulfill the requirements that are necessary in our field. The final component of talent is technique. Technique. The manner with which an artist employs the practical skills of a particular art or endeavor. This is the way in which you, the actor, put all your different skills to use in concert with one another. In other words, your voice, the way you move, your feeling of truth, your ability to use imaginary circumstances, and all the other skills you have acquired come together to form your own technique of acting. And while the craft of acting has a host of different approaches that an actor can learn, Chekhov, Meisner, Stanislavski, Laban, Suzuki, and so on, the fact is that a talented actor isn't blindly devoted to one or more particular approaches, but has learned to synthesize any approach to their own creative individuality. That's why talented actors are regarded as originals, as masters of their craft. They all studied the same basic stuff as anyone, but have used and honed their presence, ability, skill, and technique to reach the apex of their craft. So, returning to the question, can talent be taught? I think the answer is yes. Each one of the components of talent can be practiced, sharpened, and honed. Yes, some people are born with a tremendous amount of presence and ability and are able to find success and the respect of their peers very quickly. Most people aren't born with this, however, and I think the point of this video is to let you know that that's perfectly okay. You don't have to be born with talent to acquire it. It will take a lot of work and passion, but it absolutely can be done. What do you think? Can talent be taught? Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. We now have helped tens of thousands of actors and performers just like you who want to become better artists on stage and in film. If you haven't subscribed already, I invite you to hit the button and don't forget to ring the bell if you want to be notified as soon as our next video comes out. I now have a Patreon page, so if you'd like to support my videos and help me make more, please consider joining. Click on the right for my latest video, and on the left if you want to catch up with all of my Actors Take 5 videos. And if you'd like to know more about me or are interested in private coaching or classes, please visit MichaelChekhov.com. See you later, colleagues.